Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Triological Thinking, the show that gives you that funny feeling on the left side of your pancreas. Connections, as defined by the illustrious internet, are relations a person, idea, or thing has between another person, idea, or thing. This can be shown through observation of characteristics such as strength, height, and Bacon number for humans, and limitless other characteristics that can be applied to objects and ideas. That being said, there lies another way to connect two nouns, let's just say, and this is through negative correlation. Negative correlation is the comparison of nouns' inverse properties through the lens of one characteristic. In layman's terms, if I had the colors red and green, they're able to be compared because they are both opposites as colors. The fact that they are colors, even though opposites at that, allows them to be connected. This applies for day and night, both of which are roughly perceived states of the atmosphere, rain and shine, states of weather, and on and off, states of power. Now we know that things within the universe can be compared through similarities and differences. But can everything in the universe be connected? The simple answer would be yes. All matter has atoms and/or subatomic particles, or more eloquently put, stuff. But what is this stuff? We have our theories, but nothing is definite. In order to prove something definite about the universe, we have to consult the universe's best friend, mathematics. Mathematics cannot accurately prove these string and quantum theorems, but what if we were able to put numerical values on anything based upon characteristics? Before I get into that, though, let's describe what we can do with these numerical values already.
So how did the universe begin? This really is the only way of determining how such works mathematically, or physically if you prefer. Again, we have theories, but those won't cut it unless they are backed by accurate mathematics, of which one can be. The Big Bang Theory. Ah, yes, it has sparked many a genius bar fight amongst the timid population of over-analytical researchers.
It is impossible for something to come from nothing.
Sure it is, the gods created it.
Excuse me, don't you mean one god?
If that's the case, who made him? And so on, you get the point. What may come as a surprise to you is that it is mathematically possible, such as through 0 divided by 0. The actual value of said fraction is 0 since there is no material present beforehand. But it also equates to every possible number, and I have shown this on my dividing by 0 video, and you should check that out for further explanation as to why it works. Thus, it is possible that an infinitely expanding universe came from absolutely nothing. Brilliant, but how about the other end of this mathematical stick? Can we show that everything either equates to or will become nothing? Well, of course, why would I ask that? This is where the definition of equations comes to help. The process of equating one thing to another is the definition of an equation. Some synonyms include association, correspondence, and, drumroll please, connection. Equations link mathematical values to each other by making the thing or things connected become expressed in terms of the other. For example, and assume each apple is the same in every way, shape, and form, here are 5 apples. Let us equate 5 apples to 3 apples. Well, this is most certainly incorrect. How can we manipulate this to show accuracy? We can take 2 apples from 5, or give 2 apples to 3. Yes, King Triage, I can do simple arithmetic too. What's your point? My point is, another way to see this is that in terms of 5 apples, 3 apples is just that, 5 minus 2. Or, in terms of 3 apples, 5 apples is just that, plus 2. With this mindset, we are now able to compare things via equations. Now, how do we compare these things to 0 specifically? That is where both the property of equations and the zero product property help. With equations, in order to stay balanced, one must do the same thing to each side. Thus, it is possible to isolate one side to nothing, or 0, as long as no law of manipulating equations is broken. If it were an equation regarding only adding, doing so may be impractical. However, for multiplication, like here, there is the zero product property. This states that if a times b equals 0, then a or b must be 0. Using this rule helps us to solve here, and it also helps to imagine how we associate things with nothing. So we have our methods. Now, how do we place numerical value on everything?
To place numerical value on the characteristics of objects is what we already do as humans today. What or how we do it is based upon the measurement, or how we express the magnitude of the characteristic. And this is easily seen with characteristics such as length, width, depth, time, hardness, and pressure. Those are all easily seen. But how do we measure things like boredness, ability to look appealing, and how nice your day was? These are all abstract attributes that, more or less, have basis with the preference of another human being. Indeed, the amount of boring something is can be related to another thing's boringness. This builds a bridge connecting the two ideas. Connecting. Something equations do well. While we know not of the specific numbers comparing the boredness of these two things, we do know that this imaginary equation can be manipulated to relate to zero. Finally, now we're able to compare alike and dislike things, their physical attributes with measurements, and their abstract characteristics by comparison to other things with abstract characteristics. Equations can be made for all, real or imaginary, and all of them can relate to zero. In other words, everything in the universe means nothing. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, that's just thinking triagically. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Be sure to rate the video if you liked it or disliked it, and give feedback as to why you did or didn't like it. And be sure to subscribe. I work hard for these videos.